Today on A Commonly Good MTG, it's Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. Yes, it's Top 5 Favorite Decks Day, where I look back upon the previous month of May in this particular case, and I pick out the 5 decks I most enjoyed playing. So these aren't decks that are the winningest or anything like that. They are the decks that I just had the most amount of fun with, or I just found super interesting for one time or another. All right, so if any of that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, recently knighted by the Space Pope, Dr. You can't suck yet. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You can't suck yet. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and it's Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. As I was explaining in the intro to this video, it's the day when we look back upon the decks that I played in May of 2024 and try to pick out those 5 decks that were my favorite decks to play. All right, so before we get to those decks, let's talk a little bit about what made a deck into my favorite deck. All right, number 1, it has to have a good chance of winning. So I'm looking for a deck that is probably going to have around 60%, right? 60% or more win rate. I mean, that's a lot if you take a look at like the grand scheme of things. I'm talking about when I'm playing it. Like out of 10 games, I'd like to win roughly 2 out of 3. Maybe a little bit less is fine. It all depends. The rest of the deck actually matters a lot after that. But I'm looking for something with a good chance of winning. Number 2, that it puts up a good fight. Like another thing you could potentially do is you could just play, I don't know, mill or control. You know, in those cases, and usually mill is control for the longest time. You're just board wiping, right? You counter, board wipe, play your combo, walk away. That is kind of boring. But I'm looking for something that within the first couple of rounds, I'm putting down some dudes. I don't know. I like putting guys out, I'm shooting them or something like that. I mean, there's a big difference to me for countering for some reason. If I let you have a guy hit the board and then I kill it, that feels perfectly reasonable to me. But I want a bunch of fighting. I want there to be to where like I'm doing something. If I'm playing this deck, and even if I'm losing, I'm still playing the game. I'm just not waiting, like ramping and trying to put more mana out. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for number 2. Number 3, I'm looking for interesting cards or interesting synergy between the cards that you have. That's why I like tribal decks so much, is because tribal decks, usually you got synergy between the cards. Like all Phyrexians get this, all your Phyrexians do that. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I remember the first time it was elves. I remember the elf decks just went nuts. And then goblins kind of got into it. Oh man, elf versus goblin tribal decks were fantastic. There's a lot of great things you can do today. I'll tell you the big hint for the future of right now, it's like a Simulacrum Synthesizer. That is an interesting card, and there's a lot of synergy with it. All right, number 4, big finishes. So one of my favorite decks is what kind I call the Nuke deck, and that's with, I think it's called Devilish Valet. It's either Devilish or Fiendish. I can never remember. And the deal with that guy is he comes out, he costs 3, he's a 1/4 or something, and he's got haste. He's 1/3. And the deal is that anytime you play a creature, you double his power. And so to me, it's like you get him out, and then you have a bunch of other stuff that when guys come out, maybe put some other stuff out. More guys get created. This guy gets pumped up like 4, 5, 6 times. You multiply, 1 times 2, 6 times. You're doing like, I don't know, 64 points of damage or something like that. Maybe it's 128. Doubling things doubles things up quickly. And he's got trample and haste. That's a big finish. And a lot of the human decks, they're playing with that same kind of thing right now. You get out that red adventure guy, and all your guys get haste and +1. That's the big finish right there. Allows you to come in for that giant attack at the end with your swarm, where everybody's suddenly got 2 power rather than 1. Well, that's the kind of stuff that's unexpected. People can't deal with it, and it wins you games. Love a good big finish on a deck. All right, so there we go. That's what makes a deck my favorite deck. Let's start off by seeing number 5. All right, we're playing against EvilDooM. EvilDooM. All right, we'll try to make it work with just 1 mana or 2 mana here. We'll start off a little slow. We'll shake our bushy tail. What is that thing? Alright, whenever an champion enters the battlefield and you control, scry. You can pump it if he's got 3 mana. We'll keep this one. Get another legendary guy out. Yes, it's Tiny Bones. Someone tells me you got another enchantment that's going to pin guys down. Ossification. No attacks. We'll just defend. He's got mana to pump with. He's got to bleed through all of his exiles here. And what have we seen so far? 3 of them? So can't get a 4th mana for some reason. All right, 4th mana, Goldred. Will he be able to exile Sholdred? Nope. Do I want to attack? Sure. He's got nothing in his hand. There you go. Have a good time. All right, you coming at me, brah? One more, we get Vein Ripper out. That'd be really nice. 1 more mana. There you go. Gonna pump it up. You can do it again. There's the mana. All right, we got our heavies. So the good part here is Vein Ripper is just a monster right now. He's got only 2 mana left. Unless he's got something to block flying, he's out of this. GG. And we win! Mono Black Crime. Criming it away. Alright, so we are with Mono Black Crime. Yeah, I really liked this deck. Reason why is because I always like a good Mono Black deck. I just get kind of bored with them because they are kind of the same thing over and over again. The cool thing about this particular thing is that it did something slightly different, right? We were trying to actually have effects that were affecting other people directly, which are called crimes, so that our smooth criminals, such as Vadmir and Karavek, can actually like pump because of it. So it's nice having that synergy in the deck. It's nice being able to play like a mono black mid range again. And just having it be something that you're both familiar with, yet has that new feature that makes it just that much a little bit better. The only dirty card I feel dirty about is Rush of Dread, mostly because when you're playing with the Servant of Alcatraz, it's a combo, right? It kills them immediately. There's nothing anybody can do except for counterspell to block it. And in this case, we're not playing with the other half of it, so Rush of Dread just does what Rush of Dead does, which you could get rid of half their cards, half their life, or half their creatures. That's cool. It's really cool. It's a nice black card. It's definitely very crime-like, so I appreciate it. Anyway, so there we go. Mono Black Crime, one of my favorite decks of May 2024. All right, we're playing against Breaker. Breaker. Keep. All right, let's see. I got to play this thing right. These desert ones are weird to play against there. All right, so we glimpse a core on the next turn. A lot of mana. Throw it down, put out the archway. That's fine, we'll pull out into the side. Let's see if we keep this guy alive. Okay, we got what you need. I could. What's it going to case? The other one, Ward 2. All right, so I got to put this guy out, which would do 4 points of damage. I got the 2 additional. Let's just do that then. All right, that one's gone. Let's use this to get rid of this guy. And 1, 2. I got 6. Let's get rid of this one. Oh, look, we got a stupid land. There we go. There's a little bit of slapping some people around. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll have 6 mana. Oh yeah, our lack of creatures is very disturbing at the moment. He wants to get into a fight. 1 and 2. And we win! Suck it, sucker fish! Suck it! All right, so here we are with Hasty Horse. I really, really enjoyed playing with this deck, mostly because I thought that Calamity was an interesting card, but yet I never really put any time into trying to figure out how to make a play. When I ran across this particular deck, I thought, ooh, this is it. Finally we could do it. Unfortunately, in my demonstration of it today, I was unable to get Calamity. She just never came out. But lots of Terror of the Peaks. I mean, that's another card I've always liked. But once again, it usually just gets killed. It just gets shot right out of the air without being able to do anything. With this deck, it's just throwing around damage like nuts, like super crazy time. Because you're throwing down 6s and 7s, and you're doing that much damage equal to its power to various things. You can shoot to any target. You can take planeswalkers out, people, creatures. It doesn't matter. Battles. We don't have any battles in here, but still we could if we wanted to. Our Aired Archway ended up being pretty decent and gets you 2 colorless mana. All right, great. That worked out well. Because it makes you bounce something back. So it's still kind of slow, but, it's actually not too bad. Altogether, yeah, the biggest problem with this deck is the fact that at the early part, when you're trying to build up your mana, you're wide open. You go into anybody with a lot of aggro action going on, you're not going to do very well. It's hard to fend them off. You got ramp, meaning you'll be able to start throwing out your Terrors of the Peak at, maybe turn 4 even. It's quite possible. But like Topiary Stomper doesn't do anything. This guy comes out just to play defense practically. You're hoping that you get your Obliterating Bolts and your Volcanic Sprites to start nailing people. It's just hard because 6 is where this deck really comes together. You're waiting around until 6 comes around. But man, once you get to that point and you can start throwing guys around like crazy, that is so much fun. Yeah, so basically by throwing out big stompy creatures and you got the synergy with the Terror of the Peaks and Calamity making copies of everybody and Trumpeting Carnosaur just discovering things like that. Yeah, that's why this deck is so much fun. It's just an inferno of pure chaos and awesomeness. All right, so there we go. Hasty Horse, one of my favorite decks. All right, playing against fragile.ant. You're such a fragile little ant. 1, 2, and Plaza of Heroes helps out the legendary guys. We got a lot of legendary guys. Keep. Let's use this for legendary. We don't have any greens is a problem. Humans! Put them out. You shoot them? I cannot get rid of that, unfortunately. Let's put out our own baby maker. Oh, I don't even know what I just did. Was just a land? Alright. Don't kill poor Adeline. He's going to give her a double dose of killing. Are you doing that just so you can get a forgeling through? No blocks. Alright, cool. Hopefully that was it. There we go. Stay alive. Human. Can we get 2? There we go. There's our boys. Down to 9. Nice try, man. I mean, I fully appreciate Urbrask Forges, but that wasn't going to save you. Victory! Alright, so we are with Mardu Humans. I really like this deck. The reason why is I'm not a big fan of legendary decks, and this is definitely a legendary deck, yet it swung me over. And the reason why I did is because I liked the synergy between the cards. I thought that was fantastic. The fact that you got all these human guys, and they all do something, but then if you have roaming thrown out, then you pick humans, then it's going to double the triggered effect of humans, which Adeline puts out 2 babies, or Inti does whatever Inti does twice, right? It's just too many words to read, too many words. And then Ishin comes out, and he says, hey, if attacking causes something to happen, then it triggers an additional time. Like, guess who that happens close to? Inti, Adeline, I'm not sure who else here. Min Pakal. Oh, sweet God, I forgot that Min Pakal was actually in this. Yeah, I mean, it's just the ability, the synergy between the guys you got going on and the other is just fantastic. And if by chance you could get a Mishra out and attack with like a billion creatures at once, they just die. They just die. Because it just takes away all that life and gives it to you. So yeah, the synergy in this deck for being a human deck is so top shelf. That was disappointing. But still, so top shelf. That's one of the reasons why this was one of my favorite decks of May 2024. All right, we're playing against MonstrMarley. We got some great things right there. Fading Hope, the Surge, so look like fun. And then we got those other things for 3. Keep. I probably should have put the Shivan Reef out. Have access to both Fading Hope and Voltage Surge. Can't do enough to it. Tiny Bones. I haven't seen Tiny Bones in this deck yet. What's you got in here anyway? Just 1 land? Let's see. Really like to get up to 5 mana, so then again, it's hard to push back a partial board wipe like that. Oh, what a jerk. Oh, and that just, redid everything. Everything about that was bad for me. All right, number 5. Let's Urbrask Forge it. Okay, we have the ability to Spell Pierce if he is more than 1 mana and it's a non-creature. That would be a creature. Let's get this going. All right, obviously I know who you're going to block there, Tenacious D. There you go. Those guys will just grow. I mean, he has the ability with the green to get rid of the artifacts there. We'll see what happens. I totally have the ability to burn down the house. He's going to be able to start self-recursing there. Counterspell! Burn down the house at this point, huh? So you just be able to play him back is the problem. Cost him money. Let's do it. Gone! Let's give us time to get our forgelings stronger and stronger. Because right now he could race out with Tenacious D, but it would be the only thing he could do. Ooh, I gotta play the combo, unfortunately. All in. I mean, I guess I could have won if I could have won just then if I would have done Skitterbeam Battalion. All right, he's got 3 blockers. I'll have 5 guys coming in. I got this thing stitched up. Smith 0. All right, it's time to rage in. Oh, body pants. Victory! All right, here we are with Izzet Artifacts. Why do I like this deck so much? It's the synergy between the cards. The synergy between the cards is fantastic. What is great about it? Well, number one, we got Urbra's Forge, which is an artifact, which then makes Simulacrum Synthesizer pump dudes out. Only one at a time. But then Urbra's Forge keeps adding dudes to it. It just kind of operates on its own. Skitterbeam interacting with Simulacrum is so incredibly good and just makes a billion guys that are super big. Yeah, burn down the house, and we've got Brotherhood Inn doing a little board clearing for us. Circuit Mender, here's the deal. I said long ago we should replace it with Thrawn Spriter, but still, he's still in it because I'm just showing the deck that we played before. So yeah, there's such good synergy between the cards. None of them are very expensive. The most expensive we have is Skitterbeam Battalion. It's so rare we actually play it for 9. It doesn't matter. Really getting out to 2/2s is perfectly good because each one of them is an artifact, and as long as we got at least 1 synthesizer out, that means we're getting 3 dudes out as well. 3 additional guys, meaning that Skitterbeam Battalion puts out essentially 6 guys. 3 of them are 2/2s with haste, and 3 of them are much bigger than that. So the combination of the low-end instants and sorceries, as well as then you got your mid-range combos going on. Yeah, this deck is top shelf in my book. Always lots of fun. I like so much about it. It's got so many of my favorite cards in it. That's probably why Izzet Artifacts is one of my favorite decks of May 2024. All right, we're playing against crowpa. 2 mana. All right, hopefully we can pull up a third. Come on, 3rd mana. Did not get our 3rd mana. We'll just suck up some life, no attacks. Come on, man. There's our mana. All right, I'm going to Warleader's Call. And all in. You want to double up on a guy, you can kill off the veteran. There you go. It's like, is this guy going to convoke here anytime soon? All right, you're going too slow, man. Come on. Just pass the rock, yo. I got things I want to do. That's disappointing. Well, I'm getting punished a lot. All right, we can Devilish Valet next turn for great effect. Of course, I need an Imbecile to be alive for it. And he's touching her. He touched her in a bad way. You really going to go for it, huh? Yeah, that's really what you want to do, huh? You just passed. All right, so I can only put out one guy. Is it time to do it? We'll get it buffed up twice. All right, there we go. Pump, pump, a pump, a pump. I've got myself a little bit of a trample going on there. That's called a nuke. It'd be even better if we got to super nuke it. Like if he survives this turn and next turn we can roll in. Yeah. And we win. Suck it, suckerfish. Victory. Here are Warleader's Nuke. And as you saw from that last game, yeah, I really like this deck. The thing about it is I'm a big fan of Boros Nuke in general, which to me pretty much means Devilish Valet and the ability to put out a bunch of creatures at one time. Bunch of cheap creatures. And the cheap creature swarm has continued viciously into the more recent sets. So Devilish Valet has been great. But the big thing that really helps out a lot is Warleader's Call. Warleader's Call. So between Warleader's Call and Devilish Valet, I mean, Warleader's Call, when you get a little swarm out, it just single pings them like crazy. Then it also pumps up to Devilish Valet. The Devilish Valet then multiplies for each guy that comes into play. It's just a synergistic firestorm of pure wonder. So yeah, this particular deck, I think I got it from somebody else, and then I just bumped up on the Devilish Valet, trying to make sure that we got to it more often, possibly more Warleader's Calls, possibly more. I think I put Gleeful Demolition and Boulder and Epicure in here just so we can have that going on as well. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic deck. I love playing it. And the only thing that I have a problem with it is that it just seems like it's a boring net deck, you know, but when I think about it, I'm not really seeing it being played a lot right now. If you're seeing this kind of swarmy thing going on, usually it's mono white humans. I think Warleader's Call has sort of been forgotten in the meta right now. You're not really seeing it that much. So maybe it is time to bring it back. The pure wonder and joy that is Warleader's Nuke. So there you go. All right, so here you go. These are my top 5 favorite decks for May of 2024. Black Climb, Marta Humans, Warleader's Nuke, Izzet, Artifacts, and Hasty Horse. I think the big theme for this month was like combo synergy. That was the stuff I think I was really enjoying, and we were seeing a lot of that stuff coming up. I was most surprised by Marta Humans. The reason why is because it's like human decks are human decks, right? It's just getting out the swarm, and maybe you pump at one point at the very end and they attack. Great, that's just what human decks do. But Marta Humans, I mean, just being able to duplicate all of those attack abilities and putting out more guys, I just thought that felt like a lot better than what regular human decks were capable of doing. Plus, when you've got what's that guy's name? Izzet Mishra. Mishra's the guy. We got Mishra's vampire sucking the life out of people as you attack. Ooh, that just tasted so good. So, and lastly, I mean, it's just, let's talk about Warleader's Nuke. I mean, I've always am a big fan of the Nuke decks, which is a bit of Devilish Valet or Fiendish Valet. And putting one of those in with a Warleader's Call deck, oh, it's so good. And it's got Urzur's Forge. I mean, I just cannot complain about it. And the other big thing I really found myself liking this one was the Simulacrum Synthesizer. Man, the combos with that one, getting a bunch of artifacts out, I still think there's more room for advancement in that theory, but I definitely like the Izzet version of it. All right, so that's it. If you decide to play with any of these decks, I hope that you have as much fun with them as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.